Here's the other thing. There's a man standing behind me who is also swimming upstream and running a very, very difficult race against the tide of throw all the bums out and government is the issue and I don't care who you are or what you say you're from, that you must be crooked if you're in politics. And he has had to withstand some of the most withering attacks about himself, about his family. But now's when we need you to keep standing with us. We need you now more than ever because we cannot go backwards from everything we accomplished in 2008. And I don't want another senator from the state of Illinois that won't do anything but cancel out Dick Durbin's vote. Because that's what would happen. Every vote Dick Durbin would make for us would be canceled out by a vote that Mark Kirk would take against us. So understand what's at stake here. Keep standing. And welcome to the room, Alexi Giannoulias, the next senator.
I'm going to be very brief because we have a lot of work to do. But I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. I want to thank Senator Hutchinson, who's doing an outstanding job in Springfield. She is the real deal. And we need to make sure that we send her back to Springfield so we can all have someone who's representing us that we can be very proud of and someone who has always been a fighter. I love her and I'm proud to call her my friend and I'm proud of the type of leadership that she's going to provide for a very long time because she is a very young.
I love him more now.
So, I promise to be very brief and this race for the United States Senate will be the most important race in the country. This is Barack Obama's Senate seat. The National Republican Party was here with Mitch McConnell about 2 weeks ago, and they said that this is their trophy race. This is their race to embarrass President Obama, to embarrass National Democrats, to embarrass the White House, make it a referendum on the president. But we're not going to let that happen. We have 66 days to go for what will be, again, the most important race in the country. And this election, more so than any other in the country, is a choice. It's a choice between the failed and reckless and greedy economic policies that have brought this country to its knees, or a promising future where we invest in early childhood education, where we reform an education system where teachers don't have the resources they need to succeed, where we fight for middle-class families that have been devastated by this recession, where we move towards a clean energy future. We turn this economy around and we help create jobs for so many of our friends, neighbors, and family members that have lost everything. Guys, folks are struggling in ways that we never could have imagined. We know it. Our friends, family members have lost their homes. Every 8 seconds in this country, someone loses their home to foreclosure. We've got unemployment rate here in Illinois of 10.3%, a figure which does include a lot of folks who are working part-time, who are taking furlough days, who have become so discouraged, not even looking for work. In the richest country in the world, 1 in 8 Americans are on food stamps. 1 in 4 American children right now are on food stamps. And what do? We continue to ship jobs overseas, and we continue to buy oil from dangerous and unstable regimes that are out to destroy the United States. That is not leadership. Let me tell you why this race is so important, why these races are so important, why you being here is so incredibly important. And especially for the young folks, the young kids that are here. We are at a seminal moment in this nation's history. We are at a crossroads. The decisions that are made over the next few years in Springfield and Washington, D.C., as far as I'm concerned, will determine the course this country takes for generations. Thomas Jefferson said that politicians worry about the next election, but leaders and statesmen worry about the next generation. Let's start crafting a vision for the future of this country. Let's start figuring out where we want to be in 2040, 2050. Where do we want this country to be in 100 years? Where do we want our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids? What kind of country do we want them living in? One where they can't afford to go to college because the cost of tuition has skyrocketed to the point where they're not even applying anymore. One where they can't even find a job no matter what kind of education they have. Are we going to fight for middle-class families that don't want a handout or a bailout, they just want a job? Look, I'm the nicest guy in the world. I love helping people, I love saying nice things about people. I'm optimistic by nature. We have 66 days though, and this is going to be a fight. This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out, street fight. I know all of you are ready for it, I'm ready for it. And if you don't think that we are living in dangerous times, watch the news tonight and take a look at what's happening in Washington, D.C. today. You have a gentleman named Glenn Beck, who, and I have no problem fundamentally disagreeing with people who think differently than me, but you have someone who's literally, as we speak, trying to tear this country apart. They're using this celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's speech to do the exact opposite of what Dr. King spent his life building and creating. That's what's happening in this country.
Yes.
So my opponent and his colleagues have this saying. They say we need to take our country back. Not only is that racist, offensive, and stupid, but it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Think about that. We need to take our country back. Who is the we they are talking about? Take it back from who? And how far back do you want to go? This is not about going back. This is about moving this country forward. This is about all of us being in this together. Black, white, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, young people, old people. We are Americans.
That's right.
So we have a choice. I know times are tough, and I know your time is valuable. But we have a choice. We can sit back and complain about all the crazes out there. We can sit back and complain about all the problems that are out there and try and figure out who's to blame for all these problems. Or we can all stand up together. We can stand up, we can step up, and we can lead. We can knock on every single door. We can call every single one of our friends. Talk to everyone we know and remind them of why this election is so incredibly important. And if we do that, if we work hard, if we talk about the choices in this election, not only will we celebrate on November 2nd, not only can we say we were a part of history, a part of something very special, but we can look back and tell our kids and our grandkids when times were tough and we were called upon to step outside ourselves and be a part of a larger community. That's exactly what we did. And that is exactly what Dr. King fought for, and that is always what has made this the greatest country in the world. So I'm here today to let you know how important your help is to all of us. Brendan, to Toy, to my race. We can't sit back. We got to go to work. We got to fight harder than ever. We got to fight stronger than ever. That means when we're tired, that means you knock on more doors. That means when someone says they're not sure, that means you stay 5 more minutes and you convince them of why this race is so important. Are we going to fight for the middle class? Or are we going to fight for the wealthiest 2% of Americans? So we have a lot at stake in this election. I am so excited and so optimistic when I hear about this enthusiasm gap. They don't know that Illinois is a Democrat. They don't know the fighters that we have in this room. They don't know the fighters that we have in the south suburbs. They don't know the fighters that we have in Toy Hutchinson. And most importantly, they can spend all the money they want on TV. They can do their Glenn Beck rallies. No, we have people power. We have all of you grassroots activists who come here on a beautiful Saturday to knock on doors and be a part of something special. So let's get out there. Let's work together. Let's kick some ass. Let's do something very, very special. Thank you very, very much.